to people like Joe Biden, when I listen...
Great people of Biafra, great people of Africa, lovers of freedom, revolutionaries all over the world, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your place of domicile. Today I brought to you a very important lesson to learn from this Indian man. The video you just saw, I'm going to play it for you to listen and understand exactly what we are going through in Africa under this colonial power. When in this video he talked about condescending, when you talk about condescending, people who are actually promoting or patronizing superiority. But guess what about it? It's not just that. People who preach against these superiorities are the ones who are actually practicing it. That's what this Indian man talked about. He talked about the colonialism. He never stopped. They keep just changing the strategies. We talk about neo-colonialism. The strategies is being changed all the time. That's why it's always new. Neo just simply means new colonialism. That's what they keep doing, keep changing it. Every of their activities are condescending. But they are the ones preaching against superiority, against condescend. Now let us go to that video quickly, then you will understand what is going on around the world and how you are being treated, how you are being seen. Why is Russian war affecting our petrol price, our oil price? Why is Russian war affecting our commodities, goods? Why is it affecting us in Africa, in something that is happening in Eastern Europe? What about the Third World War? What if it clicks in? It means that we are going to feel the spikes more than the people who are fighting it. Wow. Because our leaders don't know their left from their right. Let us listen to a wise man. He speaks something that is formidably, truth, factual information. Listen.
When I listen to Boris Johnson, when I listen to people like Joe Biden, when I listen even more to Emmanuel Macron, all I can think of is how condescending you are. Glasgow was the UK's second most important city. Beautiful buildings, beautiful streets, a gorgeous city. When I see cities like this, I think also about the other side of it. There's a phrase from Walter Benjamin: every monument of civilization is also a monument of barbarism. I think of the famines in Bengal, the jute workers in Bengal sending jute to Dundee through the Glasgow port. I think of human beings from Africa enslaved and brought from Ghana to the New World, and all those prophets getting sucked into cities like London and Glasgow. Between 1765 and 1938, the British Isles stole $45 trillion pounds from India, 45 trillion sterling from India. We never got paid for that. When the British left India, when we threw the British out, our literacy rate was 13%. So much for several hundred years of so-called civilization. Meanwhile, our landscapes were destroyed. Coal was foisted on India. You foisted coal on us. You were the ones that came and made us coal dependent. And then you left, and now you dare to condescend to us. When I listen to Boris Johnson, when I listen to people like Joe Biden, when I listen even more to Emmanuel Macron, all I can think of is how condescending you are. You condescended to us 400 years ago. You condescended to us 300 years ago. You condescended to us 200 years ago. You condescended to us 100 years ago. You're condescending to us today. You only know condescension because for you, colonialism isn't something that happened in the past and we defeated you. It's not that. For you, colonialism is a permanent condition. And that permanent condition happens in two ways. There's the permanent condition of the colonial mentality. You want to lecture us. You want to tell us that we are responsible for all the problems because you'll never accept that you're the one principally to blame. You signed the Rio Formula in 1992 on common and differentiated responsibilities. You like the common part. You like the common part. You like to say we're all in this together and so on. We're not in this together. The United States, 4-5% of the world's population, still uses 25% of the world's resources. You outsource production to China, and then you say China is the carbon polluter. China's producing your buckets. China's producing your nuts and bolts. China's producing your phones. Try to produce it in your own countries and see your carbon emissions rise. You love lecturing us because you have a colonial mentality. Then there are colonial structures and institutions. You lend us money, and every time you lend us money, which is our money, every time the International Monetary Fund comes to our societies and they tell us, here's the money we are giving you. No, it's our money. You give us our money back as debt, and then you lecture us about how we should live. The climate justice movement is a movement that says we're worried about our future. What future? What future? Children in the African continent, in Asia, in Latin America, they don't have a future. They don't have a present. They're not worried about the future. They're worried about their present. Your slogan is, we're worried about the future. What future? That's a middle-class bourgeois Western slogan. You got to be worried about now. 2.7 billion people can't eat now. And you're telling people, reduce your consumption. How does this sound to a child who hasn't eaten in days? You got to clue into this, guys. You got to clue into this. Otherwise, this movement will have no legs in the third world.
So, that is it. That is it. Simple truth, formidable truth that you can never, run away from. This is it. What he just said, he just spilled it out. He spelled it out the way it is. They keep re-strategizing their ways of colonizing our people, our continent. To them, to those first world country leaders, they don't believe that colonialism and all these things, oppression, is the things of the past. They're still patronizing it. They're still practicing it. And yet they preach against it. Because what they present to you is what they want you to see. Which is a lie. The truth is what they can never present to you. And the reason why they keep succeeding is because the people we call our leaders, who are supposed to be the ones representing us around the world, they are lame. They know nothing. They are incompetent. They are all just for their pocket. They don't want to liberate this continent. All they want is to liberate their pocket. They will never be fooled with what they have. Selfishness and self-hate is our problem. I believe that you must have learned something from this man, from the video I just played for you. A very, very important information. The colonialism continues. It never stops. It will never stop until you learn how to be independent, until you learn how to love one another, until you learn how to support your own brand, until you learn how to support innovation. Innovation is the key. Take a look at India today. Indians are one of the countries that are, exporting food. If they stop exporting food, everyone will be worried. We have oil, but the oil prices are skyrocketed high in Africa because of Russia war. Why is that? Isn't that telling you something? Isn't that telling you something? Africa, we need to wake up. We need to revolt against neocolonialism. When we talk about neocolonialism, it is every day they're re-strategizing the formation of neocolonialism. It simply means new colonization. They are coming. They will keep doing it until we wake up and say enough is enough. they will never stop. That's how it is.